What's going on, guys? Today we have the best cards at each position right now in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. Of course, before we get started, I just checked the numbers and it's good news and bad news, okay? The bad news is you are not subscribed. The good news is I think because this number is going up, it means that more people that are new to the channel are watching. So that's you right now. Hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. But 67% of you guys who watch the videos are not subscribed. So let's change that right now. Head down there, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. It's of course appreciated. You might not even know that you're not subscribed. Go check if you're subscribed or not. Go take a look, hit the subscribe button. And of course, I'll be live tonight on Twitch, link in the description, at 8 p.m. Eastern, usually 8:15, 8:30 to be honest with you. I say 8, but probably more like that time. And for the first hour of the stream, we are going to be rating teams live. So definitely come through. And also we're going to play some games, with this team, which is an interesting team build. If you have questions, so do I, okay? I'll answer them on stream today. I don't know what this team is I built, okay? I'm going to be honest. I don't know. But let's hop into the video. The best cards at each position right now in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. So on the last best cards at each position video, I didn't talk about offensive linemen, and people didn't like that. So today, we're going to talk about the offensive lineman first, okay? So what you're looking for in an offensive lineman in endgame Madden in May is this ability right here. Secure Protector counters a lot of the abilities that people use right now in game. And at right tackle, I think JC Latham is a monster. If you do need other offensive lineman abilities like Identifier and things like that, you might, kind of think a little bit differently. But honestly, Secure and Identifier on JC is pretty glitchy. If you want to go free on the card, just having Nasty Streak as a free option is just nice. It might not do much for you, but when it works for a free ability, why not use it? But say you're someone that needs an Identifier, Secure, Identifier, great. Okay, there you go. 1 AP setup, or you can even go with the 0 AP setup on this card. Not to mention the stats are also crazy on him. He gets 92 speed. If you do have the Combine offensive line speed boost, which I recommend a lot of you have, even if you don't have a Combine team, getting +6 speed on your offensive line is just crazy. So, it's +6, right? So you have a 90, or is it +4? It's either +6 or +4. I think it's +6. I think it's +6 speed. Let me just check real quick. I'm looking at my lineup right now. Yeah, it's +6 speed. Right now, just to show you what my JC Latham looks like, 99 speed, 97 acceleration on JC Latham. He's faster than some of my actual wide receivers on my team build right now. Okay, I didn't even realize that. That is stupid. Okay, JC Latham, one of the best cards in the game in general. We then have Robert Hunt, who I'm between two guys here. I'm of course between Robert Hunt and I'm between Larry Allen as who the #1 right guard is. But you can get Robert Hunt for free if you did wait out your weekly wild cards. He's got good stats, and of course he does get that Secure Protector or Identifier. Backyard tight end, you're not really going to use that. All it is just I think you get you do get the extra hot routes and also better playmaker abilities as well. So unless you're putting him, like subbing him into tight end during the game and using him like that, which you're probably not doing, it doesn't really matter as much on Robert Hunt. But we all know why they did this, okay? But Secure Protector, obviously great with these stats, is amazing. But I don't love the speed on this card. I gotta mention that. But there really isn't any like crazy fast Secure Protectors that I love in this game right now. There really just is not. And I guess like if you need Identifier, Secure Identifier is kind of the same thing as having Secure for free and Identifier for one, until we start seeing 0 AP guys. But even Quinn Miners, I mean, his speed's much better if you need Identifier. So there are different answers on the offensive line depending on what you need for your team and what you need for your scheme. Center, I think it's pretty much indisputable that it is going to be Jason Kelce because he is a Secure Identifier for free guy, which is obviously a big deal, but that's going to come with a bit of a price tag for a center. Am I willing to pay almost 3 million coins for a center? No, but he is the best at his position right now without question. 100%, no doubt. 100%. Next up, left guard, we have Quentin Nelson. Again, I don't love the speed on this card. I don't love it, but he's got really good stats, and he does get that free Secure Protector as well as the 1 AP Identifier combo, which is pretty good. Yeah, he's crazy. And he was easily the best card that came out in yesterday's Infinite Flux promo. And we then have Andrew Thomas. The main reason, again, is for that Secure Protector. And he does get Linchpin for free as well, which, again, does it make a difference? I don't know. But for free, will you run it? Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Secure and Linchpin? Yeah, why not? Why not run it? So that right there to me is probably the best offensive line. Latham, Robert Hunt, Jason Kelsey, Quentin Nelson, and Andrew Thomas, giving you 5 0 AP, a secure protector. Okay, we now have our tight ends. Okay, getting started here with Tony Gonzalez. Okay, Tony Gonzalez to me is very good, obviously. The main reason for him being so great is because he does get momentum shift, which could change a game. It could get rid of all your ability or all your X factors. Yakima was also really, really good if you want to run it on him, and it is NFL Combine, the same as Darius Hayward-Bay or Bo Jackson gets. We get red zone threat for free, which is great, and we go down here to the discounted abilities. Unfortunately, though, you are going to have to use a token on this card, so if you don't have your token, is this card still worth running? I would say yeah. Even without an X factor or this third ability slot, like route tech jukebox is obviously crazy. I think just having jukebox on a tight end and really every pass catcher, there's so much value in that. So the fact that as a tight end he gets jukebox is amazing. If you don't want Tony Gonzalez, I do have another option. That's gonna be Mark Bavaro. And the reason that I don't love Tony personally is because the lack of run block stats. These are all just very low. And you see Mark Bavaro, he's got over 90 run block, 95 impact block. So even though he is a little bit slower, he's 6'4", okay, does get the good juke animation, great stats across the board, great run blocker, and gets pretty comparable abilities to Tony Gonzalez. He does get tank, and then you probably want to go jukebox or red zone threat or jukebox route technician, depending on what you believe in and what you want. And you have options with Bavaro, but a very overlooked card because of the name. I don't even know what tight end this could have been to have more hype around him. But Mark Bavaro is actually very good, and those are my 2 tight ends, depending on preference and what you're looking for in a tight end. Okay, let's quickly do fullback here. Christian Okoye, without question, not going to spend too much time on this one. This guy can be an actual running back, of course. Good run block stats, good speed. He's very good. He's very good. I used him for a little bit in a 2-back set, and he worked pretty well. So Okoye, definitely the best fullback in the game. But now let's talk running backs here. So if you still have your token, Eric Dickerson is slightly better than Bo Jackson. If you have 2 tokens, for example, Dickerson is obviously amazing. I think without the token, Dickerson without the X factor, he still moves well, still plays well, but the angry runs, combine is obviously crazy. Bo Jackson, a card that came out at the end of February, is still debatably the best running back in the game, which is crazy. I think you could still kill with this card. I mean, you could literally probably still kill with Peyton Hillis angry runs. That's how good the X factor is, and you pair that with these stats and how Bo moves. Yeah, I hate to keep saying this every single best at each position video for the last 3 months, but it is true. Bo Jackson is just a stud. So if you have your token and you have nowhere to put it on Dickerson. If you don't have it, go with Bo Jackson. If you're looking for that top end production, if you're sick of Bo Jackson, go use someone else. I understand it. We're in May. Use the cards you want, but again, this is the best at each position video, so Bo Jackson definitely makes it. Okay, now let's talk wide receivers. So this is my number 5 guy. I don't if I had to rank my top 5 wide receivers, Tyreek Hill probably wouldn't be in it. He definitely wouldn't be, but I do think there is value in having a smaller guy on the field. I think Tyreek Hill is very good after the catch. I think he's very good for avoiding zone KOs. Also does get one of the best ability stacks for a wide receiver, as he does get route tech for free. It does get Yakum up. It is AKA, so it's not as good as Combine that Darius Hayward-Bay gets. But even him getting, Deep Elite probably wouldn't really run, but a Jukebox and Short and Elite actually does work pretty well, but you really don't need it when you have route tech. So it probably would be Jukebox. Maybe you go Deep Elite on the card, but I think as a smaller option, I think there is value in having a smaller wide receiver in your wide receiver core. Obviously, you want to have the tall guys too, but if you're looking for a smaller guy, I think Tyreek Hill's the best because 99 speed was one of the best ability stacks in the game. At number 4, Darius Hayward-Bay. Darius Hayward-Bay is still a monster. The Combine strat card does still work, so if you do have it, it's free 99 speed on this card. He's 6'2", great stats across the board, and he does get probably the 2 most important wide receiver things in the game. That's going to be Yakum up right here, and then he does also get route tech and evasive. All that for 1 AP is straight up dumb on Darius Hayward-Bay, and that's why this card is still so popular. These Combine cards were way before their time. Way before their time. I think the Combine cards, right now, are better. The Combine drop that came out end of February was better than yesterday's promo. 100%. The cards are still better. They are literally still better. A wide receiver number, where do I have him? I guess these next three guys, I mean, the next two guys are pretty interchangeable, but we have, of course, Randy Moss, 6'4", 99 speed. Can do it all. You know, it's an endgame Randy card. You know what to expect here. Does get jukebox. I was very scared that he wasn't going to get it. Jukebox, again, probably the best wide receiver ability in the game, or route tech or deep elite. And then you also do get that Moss ability. If you do want to run the Moss X Factor, you have that option for free. And it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. Moss is better than Double Me because Double Me, if there's two guys near you, you might not catch it. With Moss, if the ball hits your hands, you're most likely going to come down with that. So Moss is amazing with jukebox and Randy's movement and Randy's size and how he plays. He's a stud. We then have Jerry Rice, 98 speed at 6'2". Jerry cards move great. They're great after the catch. Crispy route running, all that good stuff. And he has the abilities as well to back it up. They gave him jukebox pre-baked. Wide receiver apprentice as well for those who aren't running those kind of QBs. And then you have route text free, red zone threats 1. I mean, just crazy setups on Jerry, and it's a Jerry Rice card. His cards, again, always will play crazy. To me, though, the undisputed wide receiver 1 is Calvin Johnson. Look at these stats. I mean, they're stupid. The card can even run block pretty well, which, of course, I value. Red zone threat is going to be pre-baked and is able to get jukebox and route tech or deep elite for free. So potentially a jukebox, deep elite, red zone threat, free wide receiver that's 6'5" with these stats, moves great after the catch. Calvin to me is wide receiver 1. I think anyone else underneath that's up for debate, but I think Calvin is, without question, the best wide receiver in this game right now. And finally, for the offense at QB, it is Lamar Jackson. I went back and forth, with a couple guys. I'm not even going to mention another QB in here today because the best is Lamar. He's the best QB in the game right now. And I will explain why, okay? 6'2", look at the speed, look at the carrying, look at the ball carrier stats. Amazing, it's Lamar, he moves great, plays great, has the best release in the game, gets every single past promo theme team, or promo theme team chemistry, or promo chemistry, I guess is what you would say. Unfortunately, though, he does not get all 32 team chems like Chad Powers does, the other guy who I think is probably number 2 and could be debated for number 1. But best release in the game, all that good stuff. He moves great. And for the abilities, this is the main thing that kind of sets him apart, in my opinion. He does get running gun, which is obviously big for those who roll out, which is pretty popular. So running gun as an X factor is big and better than tactician, in my opinion, because it doesn't turn off and come back. You have evasive as a pre-baked, which is great because you're able to pair that with the Truz, X factor ability, which also Chad Powers gets. But yeah, Truz with evasive on a mobile QB is broken because you have the better jukes and, the spins too, but you don't really spin in this game. And you can't fumble, so that's obviously great. I would probably go, I don't really remember my exact setup on this card. I think I went pass lead and tactician, and then I paid for gunslinger for 2 AP. So, you're able to get Truz, tactician, pass lead, you're at 4, and then gunslinger, you're at 6. But you get something that, you get a QB that can be an elite pocket passer, can be an elite runner, with the best release in the game, and his movement's crazy as a runner. His release is great. So Lamar Jackson, stud. I think without question, this is the best QB right now in Madden 24. Okay, let's head over to defense and let's get started with the big men up front. So JJ Watt is someone that can be an elite edge rusher as well as an elite defensive tackle. And do you need the token on this card? It helps, I think, for sure, because you're able to get Colossus, which is obviously a big deal. But he also does get that pre-baked X Factor run stuffer as an ability for free. And here are the abilities on the card. Enforcer Supreme, Secure Tackler, Edge Threat Elite, Double or Nothing. No inside stuff or anything like that, but he does get Run Stuffer, which does kind of do the same thing. It's a little different, not as great, but it still definitely makes an impact out there. But very good abilities on JJ Watt, perfect traits, great stats. The card can literally do everything. So JJ Watt, whether you play him on the outside or on the inside, he's an absolute stud. A little bit of an honorable mention here. If you're building a team and you need help with run support, Christian Barrymore is not the flashiest name, right? He's nothing crazy, okay? Not a flashy name. If this was Warren Sapp with these abilities, he probably would be so much more talked about, or way more talked about. That was wrong grammar. That was bad grammar, not wrong. Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay, stop talking about grammar. It's obviously not my expertise. But this card does get no outsiders and inside stuff, both for free. So whether you want to play him on the inside or the outside, doesn't matter. No outsiders, inside stuff, both for free is actually a very rare combo in this game right now. It's very rare. I think he's the only one that actually can do it. So if you need some run support, Christian Barrymore is great for your left ends. Moving into the middle, okay? If you are going to use momentum shift, William Perry's a stud, okay? And obviously his cards are great. All past theme or all pass promo team chemistries. Gonna figure that one. Oh, sorry, not perfect traits. He's missing spin move, but he's a defensive tackle, so you're gonna play him on the inside. Spin moves don't go crazy on the inside like that, but very good against the run. Even some pretty good abilities. Interior threat's cool. Secure tackler is great, but momentum shift and even unstoppable force are obviously the popular ones. I like Harrison Phillips too as a pass rusher. Obviously, he's an absolute demon. Card's able to get Colossus. Okay, Colossus, NFL Combine, which starts off then comes back and is on for the rest of the game, which is stupid good. You know, having this right here, so you're able to go Colossus with inside stuff for 2 AP. That's a crazy setup right there. Good against the run and good in pass rush, which of course we love to see. And you can even go interior threat or secure tackler, which is good against the angry runs running backs in the game if someone tries going up the middle. So Harrison Phillips, absolute stud. If you aren't gonna use the momentum shift, then I would use Harrison Phillips over William Perry. And for some elite run support in the middle, we have Mean Joe Green. Of course, Mean Joe Green cards always go crazy. Great stats, 90-90, even 99 in one of his stats. And then he's got interior threat, inside stuff, which we got down here, looking pretty good. So those are your top defensive tackles in the game. And for right end, we have one guy, just Aaron Donald, tribute card, for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? Unstoppable force, aka or combine. I would recommend you go combine, and then here are the abilities. Whether you want to play him on the inside or the outside, he's a stud, he's a demon. So those are your big man up front. We now have our linebackers getting started. On the left side, we have Brian Arapko, and pretty much just him. I mean, if you're talking about users, you could obviously mention Ted Hendricks in there, but I do think there is a better outside linebacker user in the game, and we'll get to him in a second. But even Bruce Irvin, you know, Bruce Irvin's got great stats, but he does get unstoppable force, which is obviously big. And then it's just the traits for me that really hurt, like no high motor, no clutch, all that good stuff. Where to me, it's covered up on Arapko, even though he's not perfect, right? He's not like the perfect guy as far as traits go. As you can see, it is better. He gets high motor at least, but it's obviously going to be that Colossus NFL Combine. That's the big deal on this card, and you can pair that with edge threat or whatever you really want, enforcer, like you're double or nothing even, which is obviously great. So Brian Arapko to me is the best left outside linebacker in the game right now. If we head over to the other side, we have Lawrence Taylor as the best pass rusher off that edge. Obviously does get momentum, what's it called? Momentum shift? I almost called it momentous force. Momentum force, I almost called it. Momentum shift, and then obviously good abilities as well. And he does get the pre-baked edge threat, not edge threat elite, so he's not gonna get that extra pressure, which I kind of wish he had. And then he also does get these abilities right here if you do use the token. Even without the token, edge threat with like secure tackler or defensive rally with, you know, double or nothing even, like pretty crazy. And, you know, and having his traits, which are actually perfect, like 3 here, and then he does get clutch and high motor and big hitter all on yes, is obviously pretty good. Okay, and he's even somebody that you can put lurk artist on and user off the offensive line or defensive line, which people I know like doing. So Lawrence Taylor, absolute stud. And for the best outside linebacker user in the game, Derek Brooks, man. This guy can rush the passer. The traits are obviously not great, but he can rush the passer. He at least has over 90 in one of his pass rush stats. But look at the coverage stats. Damn. Look at the speed and acceleration. Damn, 6 foot, 235. And for the abilities, man, he does get mid zone and lurk artist for free. So you are actually able to go with lurk artist, flat zone, and mid zone all for free. Or if you don't want to go flat zone, you could go secure tackling, which is great against, obviously, those angry runs running backs. Derek Brooks might be the best user in the game right now. And for my middle linebacker, I have Gerard Mayo. But you see right here, the speed does lack on Gerard Mayo. It simply does. And then for his pre-baked, he does get lurk artist, which is obviously big, which is what you need for a linebacker. But he also does get free mid zone, free flat zone, and free secure. So if you're going to user a linebacker, right, and all you're going to do is put him at sub linebacker, Derek Brooks is better than Gerard Mayo at his position. Like he just is better as a user. Simple as that, mainly because of the speed. But damn, Derek Brooks' card is crazy. He's crazy. And his price, once it keeps falling, I'll probably get hands on him. He's pretty crazy. And see right here, I guess the name, or I guess maybe people know that he's just much better. That's why there's still a price differential. That's why Derek Brooks is still more expensive, even though he came out a week or 2 weeks or a week earlier, I believe. Next up, we do have Patrick Willis here at middle linebacker. This card, Patrick Willis, you don't think of him this way because in his career, he wasn't a pass rusher. But this guy can be a 6'1" edge rusher with ease. He does get Colossus NFL Combine with very good abilities. As you guys can see right here, lurk artist and mid zone for 1, which is pretty solid. That's not bad at all. And then you're also going to want to, you know, 90-90 with traits that are perfect. like Lawrence Taylor level pass rush stats with Colossus, or he can just be a good user for you too, because he got 96 speed, good acceleration with a good height and good weight. You could do that too. Is he as good as a user as Gerard Mayo and Derek Brooks? I don't think so, but I love his versatility as a pass rusher. Be able to get Colossus for you 6'1" guys out there. Be able to drop or rush the passer. There's a lot of value in that, and Patrick Willis definitely does check that box. And next up, we have our safety. So safety is actually the most thin position in Madden 24 right now, 100%. And even though we do also have some of the AAIHP heritage cards in the game that you can't get yet, it's a pretty thin position. If you're looking for a more affordable one, Troy Polamalu is obviously one of the better ones. I do like him with his token because then he's able to get pick artist, deep zone, and then flat zone and mid zone all for 1 AP. So you don't even need to really use his X factor, which makes it kind of puts you in a weird spot because you use the token, but his KOs are obviously just stupid good, right? I mean, it's crazy. Even without it, they're still pretty solid. Even without the token, being able to get pick artist, deep zone, or mid zone, or even mid zone, flat zone if you want to play him in the slot or whatever, is obviously very good. So I think Polamalu should be mentioned here because even though he is 5'10", doesn't matter if you're 7 foot tall or 4'1", KOs are going to work the same. The ball's going to come out. It's still a very good ability. So, yeah. Troy Polamalu, stud. And then Jamal Adams is good too. Kyle Hamilton I had here before, but now it's obviously going to be Camp Chancellor. 6'3" with these stats, all past promo teams as well. Great coverage stats, great against the run. Can even rush if you need him to with the 90 power moves there. And then for the abilities, he does, of course, get universal coverage. For his X factors, bottleneck, dual threat, which I think dual threat is probably the move. This is obviously a mistake. He does not. He might get running gun in game. He might actually get running gun, but it's a mistake. It's a mistake. If it's actually on the card, it's a mistake. And then yeah, very good X factors across the board. Or maybe on mud.gg's side, it's a mistake. But here are the actual abilities down here. 3 ability slots: deep zone, mid zone, and secure tackler is probably what I would go with on the card, as that makes him a good over the top safety. He's able to kind of drop down and get your mid zone KOs. He's able to play over the top and get your deep zone KOs, and of course can tackle those angry runs running backs at a high level. And he has the stats as well to back it up, and the size and all that good stuff. So 5 million coin card, yes, but I do like Polamalu as well, as he does get all the good zone KOs in the game. And if we do want to look up some of the other guys, these 2 cards right here, Talanoa Hufanga, is obviously pretty good too. 98 speed. He'll be a free card that you're able to get on May 22nd, I believe, but he does get secure and deep zone as well. He has 3 ability slots. You're able to pretty much give him the same stack that you would give to Cam Chancellor. Besides, instead of deep zone, it's deep in zone. But for safeties, that makes more sense. So you have deep in zone, mid zone, and then secure tackler there. Or if you believe in pick artist, or if you want to play him in the, probably not play him in the slot because it's not free. But still, Talanoa is solid. And then there's also going to be Alohi Gilman as well. Who's a free safety, and we'll talk about those guys in a second, but we're already here. So, yeah, Chuck out, I wouldn't use, but deep zone, mid zone, flat zone, no secure on him, though. No secure on him, but still 3 discounted ability slots. So, if you wanted to go deep zone, flat zone, mid zone for 2, it's pretty good. Or you can go pick artist with mid zone, deep zone. It's up to you, but I like both those guys, and you really can't go wrong with either of those guys for your free AANHPI cards. Can't go wrong with either of them. But for free safety, it's Brian Dawkins, obviously. A 2 million coin card, and safety's already a thin position, so when they drop high-end cards at the position, they're going to be so much more. They're going to be so much more because people want good safeties, and EA's brought them the last couple weeks with Brian Dawkins and Cam Chancellor. So, first things first, pre-baked mid-zone, which is a big deal. And then he also does get deep zone for 1, and no secure tackler, but deep zone, flat zone, or deep zone pick artist with mid-zone is obviously... They're all pretty good combos. So those are your safeties right there. Again, a very thin position. There are other options. But even free safety, like as far as not even like free options, I guess Winfield's a guy, right? Winfield's definitely a guy who gets decent abilities, but you'd have to use the LTD version because he gets deep zone for 0, mid zone flat. I mean, that's still not even like crazy. Because again, EA is like hyping up the fact that they're giving out free deep zones, but they're giving the cards 1 AP mid zone. So we've already had 0 AP mid zones, and then they're giving cards 0 AP deep zone. So if you're running 0 AP deep zone and 1 AP mid zone, it's the same as running 0 AP mid zone and 1 AP deep zone. It's the same exact thing, but they're obviously trying to hype it up. I guess the 4 ability slots is pretty good though. Like, that's obviously very nice. Winfield's, again, the height, sure, but again, if he's 5'1", he's still gonna get all those KOs. But I'm still not like in love with the fact that like where some of them are priced. You know what I mean? Because it's still 2 AP for that same setup. You know what I mean? I don't know if that. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. And pick artist doesn't do much because he's 5'9". So again, save these pretty thin positions, but my number 1 and 2, Cam Chancellor and Brian Duncan. We now have our cornerbacks. I just recently made a cornerback tier list. I believe was on Tuesday. I think Richard Sherman is the best cornerback in the game right now because he's versatile. The guy can play in the slot. The guy can play on the outside. The guy gets, secure tackler with these stats. Even can like rush the passer if you want to be your blitzing, edge rusher, which is pretty good. But crazy stats across the board. And then for the abilities, he gets pretty big pick artist. Does get the option for a universal coverage, but he really doesn't need it because he does get deep zone and mid zone. Or if you want to play him in the slot, flat zone, mid zone are free. But I like deep zone, mid zone, or you can go deep zone, secure tackle if you feel like you don't need the mid zone. So pretty good setups there for Richard Sherman as a cornerback. There's a lot of value there. At my cornerback number 2, we got Chris Harris. Chris Harris is a stud. This card plays just amazing. However, he's a slot guy. He's going to have to play the slot for you. He doesn't, like playing him on the outsides doesn't make much sense as the card does not get deep out zone or in zone or deep zone, but he does get flat zone and mid zone and secure tackler for free. It's all for free. And again, you don't even need any of these X factors because he has the KOs, but as a slot corner, being able to have run support and get KOs in every short route scenario is just amazing. So Chris Harris, stud, my second favorite corner in the game right now, but he has to play in the slot. At my cornerback number 3, we have Tariq Woolen. This card's still a monster, man. The way that Tariq Woolen plays, 98 speed, can play man, can play zone, can hit, can stop the run a little bit there, but his size is great. Also does get reinforcement, which is probably the best. Reinforcement is probably the best cornerback X factor to get because it makes you much better as far as run support goes, as it gives you more sheds or whatever. And then for his abilities, he's able to get deep zone, mid zone, which is 2. It's not a great setup, but the size and the speed's great. Or you can go deep zone pick artist, which does make a difference because he is 6'4". He's someone that you're actually going to want to try to go for interceptions with, which is obviously a big deal. And then finally, we have Brian Branch. Brian Branch, if I were building this team, and you're going to see on the final team build here, I would put Brian Branch in the slot as well, as he's another one of these mid-zone, flat zone guys in the game that both get it for free. Unfortunately, though, he does not get secure tackler, but he gets 95 tackling, 99 hit power, and 98 pursuit. Low block shed and impact block, but very good tackling stats. Can play man, can play zone at 6 foot with free flat zone and mid zone, which is great. And if you want to play him over the top, you could also do that too, having the deep zone option there for you to use. So yeah, those are the cornerbacks, and now let's get over to the full team build. Okay, so here is the final team build. Screenshot if you like. I'll hide the face cam if you guys do want to save this. There you go. There's the offense, and there is the defense. There you go. Best cards at each position. If you build this team out, we're an endgame Madden. This is definitely a 10 squad. Really no holes at all in this team. Only thing is you might have to do some adjustments because you only get 2 tokens. You know what I mean? You only do get 2 tokens, so like you probably use Bo, you probably would use Bavaro, and then on defense, JJ Watt and maybe Lawrence Taylor is what you would do. Or even if you don't want to pay for Cammy, you could always use Palomalu too. So there are options here on this team, obviously, but of course, if you didn't make it to the end of the video, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Yeah, but definitely subscribe. Of course, support it, or appreciate it is the right word. Appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for watching today's video. And as always, I will see you in the next one, and have a fantastic rest of your day.